to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
Ebro in the Morning, Laura Stiles, Rosenberg. Wow, Michael B. Jordan, this guy's a big deal.
No, this is true. I want to start off like this. True friend of the show status.
Yeah.
Like, maybe more than anyone we've ever known has blown up, become the biggest star, and always comes back to see us.
I appreciate that. Thanks,
We appreciate
we
that.
appreciate
We
you.
really do.
Yeah, you guys like family.
Yeah, man. And you, obviously grew up listening to the radio station from Newark, New Jersey.
Of course.
I wanna talk about that before we get into all the celeb stuff.
Let's do it.
Just because you're still very involved in Newark in as many ways as you possibly can. Family's there, and the HBCU Classic that you helped put together.
Yep.
Tell us about just how important Newark is and just staying rooted to your community.
I mean, Newark made me, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where, you can evolve and grow, and career takes you all over the world, but Newark is like home is where the heart is, and as much as I can get back and kind of be involved in the community and do whatever I can to help, give cats like me an opportunity, you know what I'm saying? Because I want, when you make it out, you know what I'm saying, the hood or wherever you're from and stuff like that, and you go on and do, bigger things, you always got to remember there's another kid like you that's looking at you, and you're the example of like what can be. So I just want to make sure they can always touch that and be like, all right, I can still do the things that Mike might be doing. So building the HBCU tournament in Newark, doing it at the Prudential Center was super, super important to me. Just to, it's been a topic of conversation of late, the HBCU tournament, you know what I'm saying, the alumni, just like the whole university thing. There's been a lot of little things that are happening in football and basketball, et cetera, et cetera. But like really trying to figure out a way to like give these college students a look and like make it cool and make it a place where, high school kids want to end up instead of going to these big Ivy League schools that, don't really pour back into their community, et cetera, et cetera. So like just trying to find a way to, I don't know, stop that vicious circle of like not pouring back into your community and just trying to find a way to like.
And also, I think a lot of it is placing value on the community that you're from, right? A lot of times, and this is worldwide too, I see this, where people place value on other communities, not the places that they're from. So that it's, like you said, they don't end up wanting to pour back into it because they don't value either their experience or the people who are still there, and clearly you do. So I just wanted to big that up first.
Appreciate that, man.
Dope,
Thank you.
Who was the first person from Newark or from North Jersey, whatever, that you remember seeing like they made it and they were doing something big? Do you have any recollection of that?
Probably Shaq. Shaq's from Newark, you know what I'm saying? So probably Shaq, and then Queen Latifah. Yeah. The whole flavor unit, that whole thing was just like a moment, you know what I'm saying, for me. Like I had an audition for a bunch of like her movies, like, back in the day. So that was like one of those, give back, not give backs, but like reach backs, you know what I'm saying, that I kind of remember at an early age. Who else we got? We got
obviously the Fugees,
you know what I'm saying, Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
When he was from EO. Redman, of course.
Shout out to SZA, Maplewood, New Jersey.
SZA, that's right.
Outside.
That's right.
Is there a Newark connection, like when y'all see each other
like
on the street?
Group
like
chat?
Brooklyn? No, like a Brooklyn. People from Brooklyn always on some, Is there a Newark connection? You see Shaq?
Y'all
All
got
the
a
time.
Twitter community together?
No.
Newark NJ Celebs.
That's actually a good idea. I need that. I think I'm going to start one.
NJ Celebs.
But if you see Shaq, it's on some, y'all know what time it is.
Always Brick City. Like anytime he hears some, nonsense or whatever, he's chatting me. You good, nephew? You good? You good? I got you. I got your back if you need it. Like Shaq is like one of my OGs for sure. I mean, Kyrie, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that I talk to often. Who else we got? Yeah.
There is a real
J.R. Smith, J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith, yeah.
Yep.
I just saw J.R. the other night at a Drake show.
You said a lot of your family still lives there, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is it like coming back to visit? Do you ever get the promises that you'll pop up at church, or like do people?
Yo, I'm actually the one giving the promises that I need to pop back up at my church. I really do. I feel bad. I feel guilty sometimes.
Shout them out right now. Do it. You got to shout them out.
Universal Hagen Spiritual Church in Hackensack, New Jersey. Like I need the 180 Clay Street. I need to pop back up. I do. But every time I'm here, it's like I just don't seem to get there. But
right.
but yeah, most of my family, like my mom, dad, sister, brother, they're all in LA now, so I moved them out that way. But a lot of cousins and a lot, obviously like, childhood friends and, cousins and stuff like that is still Brick City.
How what would people not understand about Michael B. Jordan's schedule? Because obviously the fitness and gym part, how much, and the food and all the discipline that it takes to have the Creed physique.
I think.
What is that? How much?
I think you got the weights over here.
Yeah,
I see a little curl bar.
Years and ain't nobody touched
Okay,
it.
cool.
So,
Sorry. Keep on. See, I stay here.
Yeah. Why you want you?
No, we good. We
competition?
good. Nah, it's a suit.
Oh, okay. You don't want to break through the Tom Ford.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Well, there's Killmonger physique too.
Killmonger
so both
physique was-
require physique in different ways.
I would say the biggest misconception or whatever, people that don't know is your time. My time isn't my own.
Okay.
I think the phrase "you make time for what you want." That's not really true. That's not when
Because you made a time commitment to work and profession.
I mean, this run owns my time. My schedule. Like I can only do but so much within a 24-hour time.
What does that and what does that mean for people? I don't know what that means.
That means me waking up in the morning, going to Good Morning America.
No, but meaning you signed a contract and they're like, yo, you're ours for this.
Yeah, as a director of a movie, you know what I'm saying, or a project, there's a commitment to making sure this project is going to be finished from soup to nuts, from start to finish.
You're not the actor who just shows up on set.
Nah.
You have to start from before anyone gets there.
Exactly.
And run all the way through the promo.
And you get what you put into the movie. Like, what's your commitment? What's your obsession? I obsess over what I do. Like, I want to be great. I want to evolve. I want to grow. I don't want to stay the same. So I want to continue to, pour into it. And in order to do that, you got to put time in the gym. You can't eat what you want all the time. You got to eat what you have to eat in order to change your body, because that's going to equal to a physique that the character needs to be. That's going to equal to ticket sales. It's going to make the movie and the project much better. So when you start to break it down that granular, you got to pour the time in. Like for me, staying out the street, staying out the clubs. I'm not partying. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get rest whenever I can. I'm trying to spend time with, I got a new nephew. You know what I'm saying? I'm with my family as much as I can because I'm always on the road. Or, you think about them, but you don't get a chance to talk to them as much as you can. Like that's a real part of the sacrifice of the journey that you're on when you try to be dedicated to a craft.
How many actual hours though to get in? Listen, my man.
Come on, Jim.
When he's Adonis Creed. My man looks so crazy that I swear to God, my fiance the other day watching goes, swear to God, she was not joking. She was dead serious. She goes, is that his real body? Or is it like they did something
Like
to
I
him?
thought she was wearing prosthetics.
She goes, it was AI. I was like, no, that's
CGI, computer generated. So your abs are computer generated.
No. I promise. It's all me. No.
So how much time is that to do that?
I don't know, man. I don't even know how to put it in the hours.
90 minutes a day.
Work out like maybe 2 to 3 times a day, depending on the day, but like maybe 5 to 6 days a week. And that's like when I can completely dedicate myself to just working out. Like this time around, it wasn't that. I had Jonathan Majors for that. Jonathan Majors' abs.
John's
Pause,
body is crazy.
No, it's insane. It's insane.
He got for this, yeah.
It was, I needed somebody with a work ethic that was able to really be intimidating. We had to make Creed feel like an underdog this time around. Right. And in the third movie, that's really tough to do. So you need somebody who's going to be physically imposing, you know what I'm saying, and be layered. I didn't want to twist of the mustache, you know what I'm saying, villain type of guy. Right. I wanted a real antagonist that you felt for, that you had empathy for. I thought that was going to be important this time around.
And this is your directorial debut.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Why now for that?
I think, for me, this character, this franchise is the most personal for me. It's a character I played 3 times already, which is rare, and I grew up with Adonis over the last 9 years. You know what I mean? Like I grew up over the last 9 years. So, each movie, you're able to put a little bit more of yourself into the role. You know what I'm saying? You connect the dots a little bit. So this is the one that's probably blurred the most. Things that Adonis Creed is going through now, I've been through. I've currently gotten out
so you mean this is personal, like literally there's things woven into this film that have a direct tie to your personal life?
1,000%. And I think a lot of people can relate to these themes as well. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who, who has grown, has been ambitious, that comes from where we come from. I think being black and making it, and having any type of success, there's a feeling of like survivor's guilt or imposter syndrome or somebody that's trying to you owe them something, that part that some of your success you owe them, and I think there's there's 2 sides to every story. There's a lot of gray area too, and I think this is a conversation that needed to be had between 2 best friends, 2 brothers. And so it's a lot of personal. Then we talk about a lot of stuff, parenting. You know what I'm saying? We talk about therapy. Toxic masculinity. Talk about forgiveness. Underdog story. It's a bunch of themes. Love. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's a lot.
And Sly is not in this one.
Sly's not in this movie. No.
What was there a thought process there, or was it scheduling? What was that?
I think just to progress the franchise forward. I think the first film. First of all, Sly and Rocky's DNA is through this entire franchise.
Right.
You can't have these movies like that underdog spirit. I think connects the underdog in all of us. You know what I'm saying? I think what we love about these movies so much is that, we see somebody that's going through hardships, that's able to kind of, rise from the ashes and reach the mountaintop, and we connect with that because life's hard. You know what I'm saying? Like it throws obstacles at you. So I feel like for us, we connect with characters that can do the same, and that's what we want to do with Adonis Creed. So like the first movie was, Adonis met this Bianca, the love of his life. But that was a lot about Rocky and Apollo. You know what I'm saying? That was the first movie was a lot about that. The second film was really Adonis Creed trying to come out of Apollo Creed's shadow. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And kind of like, deserving, being comfortable in his own skin. In the third movie of a franchise, you have to, kind of like, I want it to stand on Adonis's, shoulders. I wanted to be, I want Adonis to stand on his own 2 feet. In order to do that, we had to go back into the past, which is why we kind of, what was those transformative years, those moments, that childhood trauma that kind of shapes us as we are today. Then we pick back up present day. And I think the room for the story was really about Adonis Creed moving forward with his family,
right,
and having him move forward. And that's kind of how we rolled out the story for this one.
Is in the first couple of Creeds, particularly in 2, you and Sly having scenes together, you talked about the reality part of it. Him sort of training you in the film and being your voice, I thought was sort of interesting considering what the actual movie is too. Like there has to be some relationship between the two of you that mirrors what the story is in the film in terms of this. You guys are connected now, kind of permanently in.
For sure, when it comes to cinema and movies like that, well, I'm always going to be tied to Rocky and Apollo and those characters in the world that he built, 50 years ago.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You know what I
mean? So something right?
I think we might be
78,
77.
Yeah. So anyway, long time ago. Yeah. Before I was born. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's always going to be that thread that's there. But in order for any franchise to have its own identity and move forward, shit, you played a character 8, 9 times. That's a lot. Characters don't do that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wait, I was asking her, was it 7 Rockies?
Was it 7 or 6? There was 5, Rocky 1 through 5 plus Rocky Balboa. Was there another one that I'm forgetting?
It's 6.
It's 6, right? Okay.
7, 8, yeah, this is the 9th movie.
And this is the 9th overall.
Yeah, it's 9th overall. Yeah. So it's 6 Rockies, 2 Creeds, 3 Creeds.
It's pretty amazing. Do you imagine that Adonis Creed, the character, will be sort of that character of your lifetime that you kind of is connected to Michael B. Jordan, the person, forever?
I think so.
And are you comfortable with that?
I am, because, having a vision for like building out the Creed verse, as I like to call it, you know what I'm saying, moving forward, I can make it what I want it to be. I think there's so many other platforms where IP and things can exist now, then it's not just one thing like back in the day, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, okay, cool, I know you for the Creed movie, for the Rocky films, and that's all it is. It's like, no, I can do a television show. I can do, a graphic novel, a comic book.
Yeah,
I can do a video game.
Comic,
I can do an anime.
Yeah.
Creed's kid can grow up one day and be another thing.
And I'm planting those seeds and giving me those options as we expand, as MGM gets bought by Amazon, I start to look at the other verticals and other multi-hyphenate things that come off this IP. I have the ambition and kind of the energy for it. So I'm building it out.
Sorry, Laura.
No,
go
I just
ahead.
think about all the pressure sequels have, right? Especially something like this. And how I can't even wrap my head around you being a director and starring in a movie. Can you talk about how you navigated that?
Yeah, it kept me up at night a lot. I ain't gonna lie. Just just to what's the workload going to be like? Like how do I yell action and cut in a scene? How like just those
that you're in
that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? And still be present for my actors, because that's number one for me, is being a great scene partner and just being honest and truthful. But I think talking to Denzel Washington, talking to Bradley Cooper, Jon Favreau, guys that acted and directed, they kind of took that pressure off of me. It was like, yo, give yourself some grace. They understand. Everybody knows what the workload is. Be present. But there's going to be times that you will be watching in a scene and you can't feel guilty for it. You know what I'm saying? So I think hearing that from the greats.
Watching in the scene meaning you're not being present. You're watching what everyone else is doing.
Meaning I'm still acting. No, you're there, but there's going to be like that 20%
You're critiquing
that's
in your
looking
mind,
at this
yeah.
thing like, you know what I'm saying? But you still in it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or I need you to look this way, so I'm gonna move up this way on set, or on stage. So there's certain things, and then that becomes addictive too, because then you have like an extra superpower. You don't have to cut a scene. You don't stop the momentum, but you can start to influence, performances by your performance, and not from just the actor's perspective, but from the director's perspective. So that's a tool that I learned on this one that I'll take with me for the rest of my career moving forward. So yeah, the acting directing thing was more in your head than it is than actually doing it. But then once you get the rhythm, it starts to flow. The time management is probably the biggest thing, just because you literally you can't do everything, and the pressure for the first time around of having all the answers that you're not going to have was a lot. But we got it done.
Do you have a right hand there next to you who helps you be like, no, what you said was blah, 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 blah?
Yeah, it's like my first AD. You know what I'm saying? My first AD is really important. H.H. Cooper, you know what I'm saying? OG, black dude from, Uptown, you know what I'm saying? Solid cat, been around for years. Like, he held me down on set. But then having a small, my group of producers, my production company, my boy Leo, who's my, my creative director, but my director's assistant, that really helped me out a lot. So, like, just having those soundboards around you to help, keep you on track. Remember you said this, or remember this idea. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, that one thing we talked about like 3 weeks ago. We need that here now. All those things are super important to a director.
Yeah.
And I'm sure your relationship with, Sly directed, acted, like, I'm sure, what's that relationship like today? Do y'all still talk?
Man, he's super busy, man. He be like, he's running and gunning, doing his thing.
Tulsa King.
Obviously, Tulsa King shows.
Tulsa King is big, right?
And it's a little bit of that, too. Like, he's a producer on this project, so he's always around it, you know what I'm saying, as much as he wants to be around it, and always welcome. This is a welcome home, but people gotta understand, like, everybody's professionals and they got their own thing that they doing. Right. Everything isn't, kumbaya, and everything isn't always together at all the time. So the fact that, Ryan Coogler, brought me into this, you know what I mean? And he's a producer, he's been around, even when he's doing Black Panther or whatnot. Thank God we both were in Atlanta shooting this movie, because his presence and advice and even the sounding board when I need to kind of ask questions about certain things was really, really helpful through the process.
Yeah, Coogler's great. So, and also just a great human being. Mm-hmm. Going to Wakanda Forever and creating that after the passing of Chadwick Boseman. Mm-hmm. I've had a chance to talk to Coogler privately, but just would love to hear from you on how emotional that was, and just how, I've heard that it brought the cast very close. Like, there's a super familial closeness with that cast that is extraordinary.
Yeah, and I'll talk to you offline about, a lot of that stuff. But it was devastating, man.
Yeah, of course.
It really makes you value time that you have. And what we did that first movie, all the records we broke, just the conversation between the Black and African diaspora, what that meant for the culture, you know what I'm saying? You can't put into words,
That's right.
And not getting a chance to have a second one, and run it back, for me, selfishly I felt cheated. You know what I'm saying? I felt, robbed of an opportunity to work again with my brother. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But it did bring everybody closer. I think that Wakanda Forever was in memory of, you know what I'm saying, and honor too. It was a mourning of sorts, and and that project had its challenges, you know what I'm saying? It took way longer to shoot than it was supposed to. We had to pivot and evolve and grow the story in
Plus,
ways
you had
that
COVID going on too.
COVID as well. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of challenges that Ryan kind of had to, to oversee and work through on this one, and still came out in a beautiful place, and to Chadwick's family, and I think we did it the right way. I think he did it the right way. Everybody I know, I loved it. Mm-hmm. I loved it. And I loved how it was handled. I think is what people really loved about. Yep.
Yeah.
And it was a new beginning too. It was it was bittersweet the way the movie was done.
Yep.
And tastefully done.
Regardless of what people their opinions on it, and they should have did this and should have did that. Like, come on, this is one where you got to kind of look at it and be like, just getting the movie done was a miracle. Just finishing the movie on time so it can come out, in a way that wasn't even after Avatar, that can come out before. Because, like, you got 2 water films unbeknown to each other coming out. Like, that's a big thing that people don't even think about. That's a big part of the equation of, like, you can't be the second water film coming out not after Cameron been down for like 9 years. Like, nah. Like, so there's a lot of things that that comes into play.
So you're positioning yourself after hearing, your directorial debut, this Creed big IP talk.
Yep, big IP talk.
When people start talking IP, they looking, this is like
big picture.
30 years from now talk he's talking to us.
Yep.
He said, yep. But as a young black man in Hollywood, how does it feel? You're also working with Will Smith on did I hear that on I Am Legend?
Yeah, that script we're working on that too. It feels good, man. Like, honestly, like, I feel like I just got here. I've been doing this, like, 24 years, and it's like,
that's back to The Wire or Pre-Wire?
That's probably like back to like Hardball.
Okay.
Probably like Hardball, Cosby Show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, back in the day, like that was like the early beginnings. Just now feeling like nobody's telling me no.
You're just now feeling that way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just now. And I don't know.
So you're
why
green
that
light
is.
gang. You show up like, yo, I'm thinking about doing. They're like, here, what do you need, sir?
Pretty much. It's like that. And humbly speaking, you know what I'm saying? It just
like, you earned it.
Yeah.
Say no favors.
Well, and you guys did something iconic. You were a part of something iconic with Black Panther. Up until Black Panther, there was that whole conversation of black films internationally can't make money.
Exactly.
You guys are the ones that changed that
We broke
perception.
that glass. We did, and we started, and you start to see a lot of other films, following that in those footsteps as they should. That's what we're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? It only took one. You know what I'm saying? Now, the floodgates are kind of open, and the fortunate thing that kind of we can pull from the whole COVID pandemic thing, it was that a lot of films that probably wouldn't have got made are getting made now because there was nobody going to the movie theaters and streamers needed content. So now movies that normally wouldn't get a theatrical release because of whatever reason is now, okay, cool, it can end up on the streaming service. Okay, it can end up on that platform. So now you got a lot more talent, a lot more filmmakers that are getting at-bats that now can have the resume or the, the look that industry be like, okay, cool, we'll give this person a shot.
And the streaming release is meaningful. It's
1000%.
not like it used to be where it's like, well, I'm going straight to Netflix. Like, well, is that really good? No, that's not what the biggest names do straight to Netflix or
It changed
HBO.
everything. It changed everything. So I think there's the game is constantly, the entertainment industry is constantly evolving and growing. I just think these last couple years it put it on a fast track to evolve in a beneficial way for us for sure.
Yo, look, man, we're proud of you, bro.
Thank you.
And we're more proud that you still find us interesting to come and schedule a sit down, a convo.
I listen to you guys all the time, man. It's like, even on the West Coast, like,
listen.
I love it, man. So it's y'all.
I mean,
y'all family.
let's be honest. We're employed because of Michael B. Jordan. Give it up for this guy. We have a job.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? This interview right here is going to keep us employed. It's
They-
good for another contract.
Because they bring in a new morning show. Michael B. Jordan's not showing up.
Exactly, fam.
Nope, not at all. Never.
Now, Michael, I think that you are the only shot I have at having
Oh, here we go.
a legitimate A-lister at my wedding.
Oh my God.
I think I would love for you to come to the wedding. And listen, if you're worried about taking up a space, I'll cut. Shawnee might be out after today's show.
Shawnee's not
anyway.
showing up anyway. Shawnee might be out. They got into it today. They got into it. He's
Nah,
cooking.
I
You
heard he's talking about the carnival and stuff like
No,
that.
he called me late out of nowhere. Granted, I was late, but he didn't have to say it. He didn't have to say it.
But that would be wrong to replace the black guy with the
no,
black
okay,
guy.
fine,
You know
fine,
what I'm
fine,
saying?
fine.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
I'll cut Louis.
I
No
mean,
problem.
it makes
He's
more
Puerto Rican.
sense.
There'll be a space for you, okay?
All right, cool.
I won't cut anyone.
I mean, he didn't say no.
Where's the wedding? When's the
It's
wedding?
here. It's here in July.
If I'm not on vacation or on set.
So basically, there's no chance.
His time is not his own.
Give it up one time, man. Yeah. There's no chance.
Oh, I love you guys.
Vacation on set training.